Hello, everyone. This is Module 5 assignment. This is the work breakdown, schedule and scheduling for Main Street office move. And this is at the back of your book in your summary. This is saying that one of the deliverables noted in the scope statement is the survey of the Main Street office building. So you have a list here of things that need to be done. I'll let you look through those, obtain a floor plan, blah, 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 determine office placements and sizes, and so on and so forth. The next step involves sequencing these tasks, so in the correct order. So they put them in the order that they were listed. This is the order that they have to be done in. And here are the dependencies. And the dependencies, it means just that. Can we do this task? Does anything else have to be done before we do this task? No. We can obtain the floor plans. Do we need anything before we do a building walkthrough? No. And we'll get more into this as we do the rest of the assignment. Okay, so you do kind of have to, you're going to need to determine some rough order of magnitude estimates for these tasks to determine the start and end dates. We do have a hard end, the whole project has to be done by December 31st. So that helps us figure out some things. And then they are giving us a little bit of information here for the dates for this particular section that we're going to be working in. And I'm going to come back to this once we have our Microsoft project document pulled up. All right, so you should have installed Microsoft Project. I went slightly over installing that, where to find that. And also here is a link to those instructions. You can look at the lecture that I did today, or you can just click on this and follow the instructions. All right, the next step, once you get Microsoft Project installed, is you need to download this file. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. And while that's downloading, Microsoft Project is exactly that. It is for project managers to schedule. It's a project management software, and it is a big one that is used. It's used throughout the industry. Are there other ones out there? Absolutely. Can someone come up with their own management plan, their own scheduling? Of course they can. I just wanted the students in this class just to see a program like this, just to touch it, just to kind of get an idea of what it looks like. This is the only assignment that we are going to be doing with Microsoft Project. All right, so once this is downloaded, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. All right, so just like Microsoft Office, well, it's Microsoft Project. So there's a lot of similarities as far as there's tabs and there's buttons. There's this little section here for copying and, changing the font, and there's very few things that are the same as far as the buttons for Microsoft Project, but it's okay. We're not going to be going through a lot of those. So the part we're going to be doing is step 3. And step 3 is we're going to be adding some information under this step. So I'm going to, since I can only show you one screen at a time, I'm going to be minimizing and going back and forth between our instructions and this document. So bear with me. And of course, you're watching this as a video, so you can always pause so you can catch up with what we're doing. All right, so here's Microsoft Project. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. And I am going to, all the tasks that are listed in the case study 1 through 12 are listed below, which you just saw that. And we're going to insert rows where we need to add a new task. And there's a couple ways to do that. And I give you the most simplest way here, but I'm also going to show you some other things that you can do. And see, I put here, another way to do this would be to choose a row below where you want. All right, so the next step is type in the 12 tasks. So our goal is to get, okay, I'm scrolling up, sorry. Our goal is to get this information, all these lines, task 1, 2 through 12, with this into our project and I'm sorry, right here. So underneath 3, we're going to have 3.1, 3.2, all the way down to 3.12. Those are our 12 steps. And then after that, we're going to put in the and then we're also going to add the dependency or predecessor, and we're going to start adding some dates and stuff. So they're giving us some dates to go by, and then we're just going to kind of guesstimate for the rest of them. So I am going to, instead of going back and forth, I hope that you can go back and forth if you want. But if you're able to print this out while I'm doing this, if you have 2 screens, you can go back and forth with it. I am going to keep just project up because I am going to, I'm going to duplicate. So I right-clicked on this tab, I duplicated it, and I am going to move it. I am lucky enough to have 2 screens, and that'll just help let me be able to go through this project a little bit easier with you all. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is 3.1 needs to say obtain floor plans. So now there is already a 3.1, but we need to change this, meet with functional management. Since I don't want to get rid of it, I'll just go ahead and retype in the information. Just go ahead and double click inside that. And when you double click inside of it, you're going to get a task information. And all we do is need to change the information in here. And we need to just type in obtain floor plans. And again, it's the top line of that chart that I'm looking at. We're not going to put anything else in here. We're going to put OK. And then I'm going to double click on 3.2. And that's already highlighted. And I'm going to put in the second line, task 2, building wall through. And I'm going to click OK. OK. I'm going to double click 3.3. Interview functional managers. All right. So now here is where we need to start inserting some tasks. So I'm just going to leave this right here, and I'm going to go here to task. And no, I'm not. Okay, so if I add a blank row here, it's going to add one above this, and I don't. I want this to keep going down. So I'm going to go down here to 4, choose 4, and it'll be line 15. So just choose that whole thing. If you hopefully you've taken micro apps and have Excel, but if not, this is easy enough. Click on the 15. You're going to highlight this whole row, and then we're going to go up here to task, and we're going to click insert task, and you can see it inserted a whole row, and it also numbered it for us. So I'm going to go ahead and double click that, and the new task is obtain current org chart. All right, I'm going to go down here to 4 again. This time with me down here, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go up here to insert task. And it's just a faster way so you're not going all over the program. I'm a right clicker. I like to get those fast menus, but you can see that I did it. You can do it both ways. You're accomplishing the same thing. Step 5 is office and conference room placements and sizing. Okay. Going down to 17, right clicking, insert task. Oh, okay. I can just start. I don't have to double click in it. I think I can just start typing. Sometimes I forget how this works. I don't use it very often. All right. Yeah. Well, that's easier. All right. So I'm going down to 18, right clicking, insert task. I can just start typing. We don't have to double click inside there since it's already has this the mark like a marquee around it. That means it's ready to go. So step 6, determine. Okay, that was 6. Now we're doing 7, determine cubicle placements. Oops. Why is there 2 of them? Step 6 is, I'm sorry, I'm looking at, let me show you what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at step 6, determine cubicle placements and interior deliverable. Okay, so I don't know exactly why there's 2. It's the first time I've kind of, I guess, noticed it. That's scary. But we're gonna go ahead and put it in just like they have. Determine cubicle placements. I press enter at the end of it. I'm gonna right click on 19, insert task. Do step 8. Step 9, determine break room areas. Oops. Step 10, draft seating charts to managers. Step 11, functional managers review draft seating charts. Almost done. Insert task for 12, final seating chart approved. Okay, so I have 1 through 12. For my next step, I do need to see, I'm gonna go ahead and see here. Predecessors. No, we can see predecessors pretty good. Start, finish predecessors. I'm just going to move this over just because it's bugging me. There's no reason that I need to do it. So just if you want to move this line, you just hover between the line until you see the 2-sided arrow. When you see a 2-sided arrow, that means you can move something. So I'm going to click on it and I'm just dragging it over here. And I don't know why I needed to do that. It just was getting on my nerves. Okay. So we have the information in. And the next thing we need to add is, scroll down here. I'm sorry. Next thing we need to add is the dependencies. So what needs to happen before this task gets done? So, and before we can interview functional managers, we need to obtain floor plans. So you can see we have to do task 1 to be able to do this. So we're going to put this in our Microsoft project. Okay. So we know, and it's predecessors, okay? It's same thing as dependencies. Do we have any predecessors for obtaining a floor plan? No. Do we have any for determining a walkthrough? No, we don't need to finish anything else. We did just see that we do need to, and you can see we can click down and it has all the items that we typed over here. We need to obtain this floor plans. Now you see how it says 12 here? It's a little, a little confusing. This is 3.1, but they're going by the line here. So we're going to choose 12. And it's right here. Okay. I don't know if these were here, but I'm gonna get rid of these dates because I don't want to have to go back because we're gonna have to delete them anyway. So just go ahead and delete. Just click up in the finish date, backspace, just get rid of anything to click once, backspace, backspace. We're gonna fill this all in, okay? So don't just click each one and backspace. I want a clean, fresh, and I'll go in and fix that for the download for next time. But okay, so here's our predecessor. Yeah, I'm just moving things around so I can see better. All right, so 3.4 needs, so you can't obtain current organizational charts until you've met with the functional managers. So we're going to put, we have to interview the functional managers first. Oh, it's just putting in dates. I have no idea why it's picking dates. All right, we'll go in and change those. I don't like that. Okay, I don't know about these dates. So we're just gonna go and change them after we get done with this. All right. All right, I moved some things around. All right, 3.5. It says that we have to have tasks 1 through 3 finished. So 3.5, we're going to go over here, and this means that we have to have 1 through 3. So we need to have lines 12, 13, and 14. Done. And then 3.6 says task 1 through 3 and interior design deliverable. So we're going to do 3.1. So it's 12, 13, and 14, because again, it's the lines 12, 13, 14, but it's 3.1, 3.1, 2, 3, 3. And it also wants the interior design deliverable. And I don't see that anywhere, so I'm guessing we just have to guess that somewhere in here. All right, so we're going to leave that. And oh, we can add that to the resource name. That must be what they want us to do. Interior designer. All right. And in 3.7, we have to have the same thing, 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3, 12, 13, 14. 3.8, we have to do tasks 1-2, 1 through 2, so 12 and 13. 3.9, we have to have 1 and 2 and the interior designer. And 3.10, we have to do tasks 1 through 9. So we're going to do 12 down to 20. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And 3.11, we are going to do, we have to have task 10 done first. So we have to have, it'll be draft seating charts. Oh, I mistyped that. Okay. 3.12 is we have to do task 11. So before we can do the final, we do have to do a functional manager's review draft seating chart. All right. I am going to see if I can get rid of all these dates. I'm highlight and dragged it down, right clicking, and I'm clearing contents. Yes. Okay. So just click at the top of your date. Click at the top of your date. Drag down, just drag your mouse down, select just the date cells, right click in there, and just click clear contents. All right. All right. So we have our steps, and then we have the dependencies. Now, I am going to drag this back over here so that you guys can see. Okay. So now they're giving us a little dates. It's a little bit of dates here. So right here it says, okay, they're gonna have they have to have the cubicles. They're gonna allow IT 2 weeks to install the computer equipment. You determine the delivery of the so they have to, we've determined that the delivery of the cubicle materials must occur by December 6th. Cubicle build-outs can begin December 7th. Since we have this information, so delivery of the cubicles is December 6th, let's go over to our project. And we didn't have to put in the build outs yet. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, so in summary, our cubicle furnishing order will take 6 weeks to fill, according to your vendor. So in order to start doing these cubicle installs, they want to start building on them by December 7th. Then that means they have to have everything that's in step 3 through task 12 has to be done by October 25th to get that date. So we are going to work backwards from October 25th to determine the start and end dates. So let's go over here and we're going to go to, so we know step 12, this has to be finished by October, what did I say, 25th. And let's make it for next year so that we're not okay. So this is a Sunday running into, I'm gonna widen this a little bit. This is a Sunday, so I'm gonna go over here, click the little down arrow, and I am gonna just move it so it's gonna happen on a Friday, since most businesses aren't working on weekends. So we have our final finish date of October 23rd, 2026, in order for everything to be ordered and the cubicle build outs to be delivered in time for them to start. And they needed 6 weeks. All right. So we have the final seating approved. And we're going to work backwards from here. So, and I like to kind of do the finish dates, and sometimes we can add some start dates. But not everything has to have a start. You can do a start. Obviously it has to be after the date of a predecessor, but anyway, let's just start. All right, functional managers. So we have to get the seating chart approved. We want that done on a Friday, and we need the functional managers to review the draft seating. So we have all these things that we started with: obtain the floor plans, we walked through the building, we interviewed the functional managers, we got the current seating charts. Then when we determined where the main room placements and sizing was going to be, then determine the cubicle placement. So all this stuff has happened. And then a draft seating chart and chart. I added a W for that. Gets to managers. So we have to get that to them, and then they have to review it. So, and then of course the final seating chart is approved. So obviously as project manager, that would be the final approval would be you. So you would want to give, so they are going to, you're going to have them review them. And how long do you want them to review them before giving them to you? Now you have to have it finished by Friday. So you want to give yourself time to look them over. So let's just guesstimate. Let's say I want them, we're on a schedule here, a little tight schedule. So as long as I get that by the Wednesday, so I'm going to do 10 and the 21st, I believe that would be a Wednesday. So you can see by the calendar if I have, if they're reviewing the seating chart, and then, or maybe they're working with me to get it approved, but we have everything approved by the Friday. That looks good. All right, and then this is going to be a draft seating charts to managers. So this is when they're going to be reviewing them. So we want to get the draft seating charts to managers by, let's go ahead and put October 19th, which would be that Monday. Okay, so you're going to get them to the draft seating charts to the managers to look over. I like to have this calendar up. All right, 19th, and then they're going to get them to the review draft. So they're going to review them, and then it's going to be done here. So draft seating charts to managers. This would be the same date, okay? Because you're draft seating charts. Okay, has to be determined. No, this wouldn't be the same date. You're going to need need some time to do this. All right, so let's do finish dates right now. So we're going to determine breakout areas. All the determining things. We're going to do that kind of at the same time. Determine cubicle placements, printer locations, and breakout areas. So let's do 10. I'm just wanting to get this into October, and I'm probably going to change it. So I'm just going to put 10, 10, 26. All right, 10, 10, 26. Of course, a Saturday, I don't want that. But we need to have all of these things determined before we can draft a seating chart to members. And the seating chart to members needs to be done by October 19th. So let's say we need to have we want a week to draft this once we get the information. Okay, so we want to start this on the 12th, and let's end it on the 16th. Okay, so I'm going to do 10, 12, 6. This is gonna be Monday. I'm not giving myself enough time. All right, I'm gonna make this the 9th. This the 5th. Okay. Oh, this is changing. All right, so I'm gonna have the same dates for determining. I'm gonna give myself a week to determine all the, or whoever's gonna be doing this to determine these cubicle placements. So I'm gonna take this and I am going to right click. I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna paste it because these are all the same dates. And then I'm also gonna paste, I'm gonna copy this, copy cell, paste. You can also type it in if you don't feel comfortable doing this. All right, so all of these are going to take a week. This is Friday 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. All right, so this is going to 10, 12, 26. So that Friday, we're going to determine the break rooms. Then we're going to start that next week. We're going to start determining. So we're going to give whoever's going to do it the week to draft the seating charts and get them to the managers. All right, so now we have office and placements and sizing. So we have to have that done before we start on the 5th. So that's a Monday. So let's go ahead and make this that Friday before. So we're going to do 10, 4, 3, 2. And, you know, again, you would determine who's going to be helping you figure out how long this is going to take. So we're going to do, let me see what the date is. It's going to be September 28th. Right, so you're gonna get. I'm basically like kind of giving a week, five business days for these tasks. Give them a week to do the office size, and we're going to do obtain current organizational charts. That has to be done before 9/28. That's a Monday. So let's say we have to have those by the 25th. And we want to, let's see, we want to be done with functional managers are going to be, let's try the 23rd. That's a Wednesday. Oops. You see how there's a little squiggly red line under here? This is saying, this is letting us know that it's a weird date, that this date doesn't fit in with the rest of us, what we have going on here. So if I was to right click on this and it shows fix in task inspector, and this is just a cool thing. You guys, this is not part of your project at all. I'm just letting you know this is like the type of things this program will do. It says tasks remaining work may need to be delayed. So it's just letting you know that this schedule isn't like, it's not working with the rest of it. It's there's too much time going by here. So it's just letting you know that this isn't correct. Okay, so I'm going to 25, 26. There we go. Interview functional managers. Then before we do that, we need to do a building walkthrough. So I want to do that I want to have that finished by Monday. So we're going to do 9, 21, 26. And obviously before, well, we can do these both these things. We need to obtain floor plans. So let's do 9. Oops. Sometimes I get too slap happy here. Okay. So right here, obtain floor plans, and that's so Wednesday. So I'm going to be starting this step. I'm going to be starting this step on 9, the beginning of that week. So 16, 15, 14, 14. All right. So these are some good dates. Again, if you want to play around with it and you want to come up with your own and you're like, yeah, I'm going to give myself more time, you're more than welcome to be, really the only date that they told us to put was that 10/25, but since I'm using next year, I put 10/23. That's really the only date. The rest you can kind of, you can do whatever you want, or you can copy what I've done. And the next step, which we're basically done after this, okay? So this, we added dates. And what I do want you to do, though, I need you to convert it into a PDF. Please don't send it to me as a MPP file, which is this project professional file. And I put instructions how to do it, but I'm going to show you. You just go up here to File. You're going to go to Export, and then click Create PDF. It's going to say, you can leave it whatever the name, whatever you've named the file, and just save it wherever you can find it again. So I just like to put things in my downloads folder unless it's something that I know I need to keep somewhere. And I am going to click OK. And I'm going to click OK, just use whatever default is there. And it is converting this. And then I want to show you. Okay, here it is right here, Main Street office move. And you can see you can't see the entire thing, but the way that Adobe pulls it over, you can come over here, and I'm clicking inside of this screen, and I'm taking the roller off my mouse, and I'm dragging it down, and it shows me more information. Okay, and you can also, there's like down arrows here, and you can, oops, sorry. Oh, good. It only gave me this. The other one I did gave me a lot of extra information. Anyway, this is the file that I need. And then, that way, that is what you're going to submit to me. All right. I hope this helped. And if you have any questions, again, this is the only assignment that you're going to be doing with this program. So thank you, and have a great night.